My father ran our house like a military base and punished us for every small mistake. When he needed us to show up for his retirement ceremony, we followed his own rule. My father served 26 years in the army before he retired. He was a sergeant major, which he reminded us of constantly. He believed that discipline was the most important thing in life and that children needed structure to become respectable adults. What that meant for me and my two younger brothers was a childhood that felt more like boot camp than a home. We woke up at 5:30 every morning, even on weekends. Dad did room inspections before breakfast. If our beds were not made with hospital corners, he would strip the sheets and make us start over. If there was a single item out of place on our desks, he would sweep everything onto the floor and tell us to try again. We were not allowed to cry. Crying was weakness, and weakness was not tolerated in his house. My brother Leo cried once when he was 7 because he fell off his bike and scraped his knee down to the bone. Dad made him stand at attention in the backyard for an hour because soldiers do not cry over minor injuries. Leo needed 4 stitches later that night, but Dad still said he overreacted. We had chores assigned on a rotating schedule posted on the refrigerator. If a chore was not completed to Dad's standards, we lost privileges. Television was a privilege. Dessert was a privilege. Talking to friends on the phone was a privilege. Playing outside was a privilege. Everything good in our lives existed only because Dad allowed it, and he could take it away at any moment for any reason. Mom left when I was 11. She said she could not live like a prisoner in her own home anymore. Dad told us she was weak and that we were better off without her. He said real families did not need people who could not handle discipline. He said we should forget about her because she clearly forgot about us. I did not see my mother again until I was 19 and tracked her down myself. She cried when she saw me. She said leaving us was the hardest thing she ever did, but staying would have killed her. I believed her. School was another battleground. Anything below an A was unacceptable. My brother Danny got a B+ in algebra once, and Dad made him write the entire textbook chapter by hand 5 times over the weekend. Danny was 12. He missed his best friend's birthday party because he was still copying equations at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Dad said birthdays were distractions and that Danny should thank him for keeping him focused. We were not allowed to have opinions that disagreed with Dad's opinions. We were not allowed to question his decisions. We were not allowed to say no to anything he asked. Talking back meant push-ups. Arguing meant running laps around the block. Refusing an order meant losing meals. I once went to bed without dinner 3 nights in a row because I said I did not want to join the junior ROTC program at school. Dad said I was ungrateful and that he was trying to give me a future. I joined the program. I hated every second of it. All 3 of us moved out the moment we turned 18. I left for college across the country. Leo joined the Merchant Marines just to be on a ship far away from land. Danny moved to Portland and became a guitar teacher, which Dad called a waste of potential. We rarely came home. When we did, Dad would criticize everything about our lives. He said my apartment was too messy. He said Leo's beard was unprofessional. He said Danny's career was embarrassing. Nothing we did was ever good enough. Then last year, Dad announced he was receiving a special recognition at his old base. 30 years of service, including his reserve time. There was going to be a ceremony with his former commanding officers and fellow veterans. He expected all 3 of us to attend in formal attire. He sent us an email with a date and time and a list of rules for how we should behave. He said we needed to arrive exactly 15 minutes early. He said we should not speak unless spoken to. He said we should refer to him as Sergeant Major in front of his colleagues. He said this was his moment and we needed to respect it. I called my brothers that night. I asked them what they wanted to do. Leo said he was not going. Danny said he was not going either. I felt something shift in my chest when they said that. I realized I did not want to go either. I realized I had spent my whole life following Dad's orders because I was afraid of what would happen if I did not. But I was 32 years old now. I had my own apartment and my own job and my own life. He could not make me run laps anymore. He could not take away my dinner. He could not do anything to me that I did not allow. I sent Dad an email the week before the ceremony. I told him I would not be attending. Leo sent his email the next day. Danny sent his the day after that. None of us gave excuses. Dad always said that excuses were for people who lacked commitment. He said either you show up or you do not, and the reasons do not matter. So we did not give him any reasons. Full story on channel. Link below.